there, this is Rosa. I'm filming this because I am being set up for my studies again. And now I've lost a few things, a few of them being my phone and my laptop charger. So I lost my expensive phone. If I were to film a good quality video, and that video of me being set up at my local craft store as somebody who's crazy or somebody who, that video was on my phone. It was still processing, and it's taken me a while to even get to it, get through it. And what happened was there were two ladies who followed me into the craft store, and they were tailgating me right behind me so that they could basically put me off from doing any sort of project or just trying to set me up again for something called PATM. And PATM is a very complicated thing to even explain unless you are going to, how do I say it, put yourself down in a way by even explaining what this is. PATM is basically a very insulting fake label used to describe a very specific group of targeted individuals. So the targeting happens, has a revenge for hire. So what's happening to me is that I have a bunch of scumbags that have not left me alone, and they continue to set me up, harass me, and torment me. Um, it's a very disgusting thing, and in every corner, in every road, in every alley that I walk past, there's somebody who's studying my moves, somebody who's following me, and somebody who is basically communicating with another stalker on what I'm doing, what I'm wearing, just full on examining me like a test subject. So so much has happened that I could not be filming so regularly as I used to, because they are doing it to such an extent where they are trying to tire me out so that I have no energy. Knowing that I am working almost every single day, I don't have the I don't have the privilege to be having the energy to go into detail about the covert abuse that I'm going through all the time. I, you know, I come home and I have to prepare for the next day, or even just go get some rest so I can wake up early in the morning. So they're doing it in such a way where they will not give me a break. So it's non-stop harassment 24/7. And even now I'm trying to stay focused saying this. What I was mentioning about the very first attack going into my craft store, they counteracted that I was going to be there. What I mean by that, they predicted that I was going to go there, and they were able to predict that because my devices, being a targeted individual, my devices are hacked, all of them, every single device, even the house is bugged, right? Being a targeted individual, this is what it is. I have corrupt law enforcement police that is watching me, stalking me, and listening to everything that I'm saying, everything that I'm doing 24/7 because I'm a threat to a group of people called the Freemasons. And I've been targeted by them for 7 years. Nobody, no, nobody wanted to tell me what this was. Instead, they drugged me for years so that I would never have the sanity to even piece together what the fuck was even happening. So, um, they were listening to me saying to my mom that I need to go pick up some fabric at the store to make for me and hopefully the person that I'll be going with to the event. And unfortunately, I did not have the time to even make that. The neighbor's son was outside, just listening to everything that I was doing. And this neighbor's son, right, I would always see him watching me. Like he would just be watching me, and I don't know who he is. I don't know what he's thinking of me, or if he even is some type of threat in some way. Knowing that I am basically a community target in every single community that I go into. Um, so you really can't trust anyone, even just assuming that they're not a threat. Like, let's just say you don't know if that person is an evil person, but um, there was a video that I filmed about getting set up on a train to ruin my reputation. And that video was one of my most popular videos. Um, it's when I broke down on camera and I was crying and I was talking about being set up by the members of the public, um, and these were people that were around my age. And what were they doing? So they came back from, so I was coming back from an event that I paid lots of money for, while they were coming back from a cheap nightclub that they had lots that they were doing things from, right? These are the types of people that go drinking, that party, right? They go to these cheap clubs and they get wasted. They go with their girls who are really, 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 really fake on the fake tan, and like good for them, like good for them. They were saying really nasty things and bad stuff to me, the girls, and I said something back to them because if you're going to insult me, I'm going to insult you back. Like, there's no way you're going to say something to me and not me not saying something back to you. Like, there's a lot of things I can say about a person just from the very first glance. And so that's exactly what I said. And the guy that was next to these girls, he mirrored exactly what I said to those girls back to me. And I was wearing the most tomboyish clothes coming back from my event. So, and you know, most women dress like that when they're going to and from the city, especially if it was just a casual day. I mean, I don't need to dress up to look good. I'm just born that way. And that frustrates a lot of people. And it's also another reason why I was targeted. It's because I have a pretty privilege, and most people who are attractive, they get hurt, they get set up in their career, and a bunch of people form together to try to take one person down in many ways. And that can be through rumors, smear campaigns, and financial status, your studying, everything. Everything is impacted. Every single thing. Now, this is obviously past events, but this is related to what I'm talking about as of recently. And when I was talking, so on from the train, right? This guy who tried to say something to basically protect their group's honor, right? Which I talked to you guys about from the train video. Um, he looked a lot. He looked like and it wasn't just him. Like there was a bunch of guys that were around my age on the train, and he looked like my neighbor. Right? They look very similar, and I don't really like to make these connections because um he could be very well. He could have been part of that group. I the thing is, I just don't know. What I know was three of those guys followed me almost back to my house from the train. They were around my age, but those three guys had had the had the guts to follow me, a young girl, halfway to my home. So halfway, so there's the train station, and then you have that little garden bush. They followed me to the entrance of my house. They didn't come in the house with me. Wow, they did not come in the house with me, but they followed me to the entrance of my house, so the alleyway. And I'm thinking, so the guy that lives next door, is he part of that group? Because as I was trying as of recently, because it's been a couple months since that event happened, I was set up for rumors, stalking by another bunch of guys who were commenting about about me, about me celebrating my birthday. And um this was on the train on the way to a accommodation that I booked. And the guys that were commenting about me, right? It seems as if there's some type of communication with the neighbor on calling me certain things. And this is all in relation to the secret recordings in my house. My device is being hacked, and whatever my mother says to me, the insults that she has given to me, some of these guys and these girls are telling those guys to say back to me, like it's a reflection of my personality, right? And it's ridiculous. It's honestly ridiculous. You know, trying to judge me as somebody who's that label that they called me, when that is literally all that makes up their life, is is a is an insult to themselves. It's like it's a very low cortisol move if we're going to talk in modern terms. Like, here's me, I dyed my hair darker because it makes my features look better. And they have to keep dyeing their hair lighter. Why? Because they're insecure. They can't accept themselves for who they are. They can't. And I was born with light light brown hair, auburn hair, but I don't like I made it darker because I'm somebody who, not only do I accept myself for who I am, I I'm somebody who can look good in the dark, right? Like, I guess you can say it's a thing that attractive people do. So you see a lot of blonde people, they're dyeing their hair black because it makes them look better. Are you going to call somebody labels for putting a low effort into the way they look? Because I put the least amount of effort into how I look. And it's just something that I'm born with. So I can get whatever I want if I want to. I have that ability as well. And so many people hate me for that. Why do you hate me so much, right? It's because they hate people who are um who are better than them. And I don't have an ego. I Everyone has an ego, right? I don't have a thing where I feel the need to compare myself to other people. But this is what I'm talking about these guys trying to put these types of labels on me because of the secret recordings in my house and whatever my mother says to me, repeating the nasty things my mother said to me, because a lot of these guys are not loyal to all the girls that they're with, right? Um, you can call them rapists, basically. They're just following the pathways of their dad and, you know, of the really bad people in the world, acting like total pedophiles. Like, nobody wants any of them. Like, not even girls anymore. I mean, are we really going to bash people who choose to be single or just want to be by themselves because of how disgusting people are? Seriously? Anyways, you know, at this point of time, um they're trying to set me up in ways where it's going to financially hurt my pocket or um hurt my career. And that's what I was trying to say from the very start of the video. And again, it's a corruption of the police, um, trying to set up, trying to ruin innocent people's lives. And I'm related to quite a few Freemasons, and nobody wants me to talk about it. Well, apart from the fact that nobody wants me to talk about it, it's the fact that whenever I talk about this to a family member, they go quiet or they feel the need to leave immediately. As soon as I say that, they leave immediately. So I'm being seriously attacked. And unfortunately, the dots are connecting too much. I wish I wish I had the time to be able to counteract most of it, most of the attacks before it happened. But there come to a stage where these people have come to a stage where they've cornered me and they can make it harder for me to get my certificate. So they're basically putting me in a state where I have to fight for my certificate. So I'm going to class and I'm dealing with all their shenanigans. I'm dealing with their attention seeking uh tactics where they're constantly trying to distract me, harass me, set me up for noise campaigns, do all these things, and follow me around, talk shit about me, mock me, talk about everything that I do in my life like it's like it's an entertainment. So I don't have any privacy. These people do not leave me alone. I'm going there for one thing and they're trying to make that so hard for me. I'm always on the verge of crying, but if I cry, that's going to be a setback on onto what I need to do in the next hour. So everything that I do in my life is calculated, and so are their tactics. Every move that I make, they're trying to be one step ahead of me so that they can delay me from doing what I have to do. The whole month of May has been a setup. They made my birthday a shit, a shit to deal with. I had, I had for the first couple of hours in the midnight when I was with my friend at a expensive venue that I paid for, because that's where good quality people go to when they pay money for, not some dangerous place, right? So I when I was with my friend at a expensive place that I paid money for on my birthday, that's when I had a good time. But not when I arrived at my hotel, not when I was walking to my accommodation, and not even in the first 2 weeks of my birthday, even after my birthday. Everything in the month of May has been a setup, especially last year. At the exact same time, so we're in mid-year right now, almost mid-year. May is almost mid-year. And last year at around this time, going towards March, I was set up in a way where I could not finish my certificate. This year, I am basically fighting to get my certificate. I'm waking up every day. I'm going into battle. I'm dealing with Freemasons who are on my tail, telling the police to tell people and civilians lies to set me up in my career, to do noise campaigns to distract me so that I can have a hard time studying, to get a reaction out of me. This is how far they are going. They are telling the police to tell the Freemasons are telling the police, yes, they're a group of people and they have a lot of money, and so the Freemasons, they're in every single town. So where I live, where you live, in every single suburb, you have that local fraternity. You have that fraternity. In every single suburb, you have that fraternity. In every single suburb. So, and where I live, you would not think that this is something that would happen, even to a young girl. But it doesn't matter because I am basically fucked. I have the most evilest people targeting me. I have a target on my back. And every single day I have to think about them. I have to think about what they are planning. And they are so quick. I don't even have the time to process what they are doing because they do it so quick. And they choose a month. They choose a month that I'm going to let my guard down. And that is the month where it's my birthday, I'm relaxed, I'm calm, I'm busy with assessments. This is the time that they choose to set me up. I'm an innocent person being targeted and set up through reputation and smear campaigns. How am I supposed to make a living in the future? I will basically have to do everything I can to fight them, counteract them. I can't keep living with my family forever. And them doing this, it's all like, don't think they're not going to affect my financial status. They could potentially try to make me homeless one day. This is how evil they are. So I have to think about how I'm going to live one day. I know I'm going to do really well because I'm really intelligent. I don't even need to say that. My mind can get me anywhere. But it's the fact that these people have the status, the money, and the corruption to get away with whatever they want, that they can do bad things to me. They can set me up. They can put me in places. They can silence me. But why is it that they've never tried to kill me? They've done magic to try to do that to me. They've done black magic. I've only been poisoned twice. But they've never tried to set me up to murder me through my food, which is what a lot of gang stalking victims experience. Most of the gang stalking community are getting set up for murder. But I am not getting set up for murder. I'm getting set up through my reputation, through through my career. Because they just know that if they murder me, all the arrows are going to point back to them. And their karmic retribution will go down the drain, in the bin. Because they're basically going to have to pay for that in the future. But needless to say, that there is a possibility that they will want to try to kill me in the future. These people hate me with every fiber of their being. They hate me so much. They are step by step plotting to ruin my career, my life, and everything that I do in it. I had a lady message me who was the head of the teacher in the department that I'm studying in. Guess what her last name was? Her last name was Mason. And you know what she messaged me about? She messaged me about my behavior. And basically, the behavior that she's talking about is the fact that I come to school and I study and I don't look at anyone. I don't look at anyone. I focus on myself. She's trying to she's trying to lure me into a private meeting so she can set me up. And how did this escalate to a head of a department, a lady who I don't know about, who happens to dictate the whole department of the career that I'm studying? How did this escalate to that? The people that I go to school with, the people that I'm studying with in my class, they gathered together, right, and went behind my back to talk shit about me, say that they're uncomfortable around me, try to label me as somebody who's honestly doesn't compare to my character. Like, I am dead quiet when I'm at school. I'm always on time. I always leave when I need to. I study really hard. And whenever I take a break, I take it when I need it. And I'm always avoiding anybody that is at that college. So whatever nonsense, whatever bullshit they are trying to stir up, it's a setup. They're trying to set me up. And they're trying to lure me into a private meeting. Remember my videos about where I was studying. It was the same course, but in a different location. I'm studying Certificate 4 right now. Last year I studied Certificate 3. I could not finish Certificate 3 because I was being set up. I was being harassed. I was being targeted. People were hating on me. They were trying to push me out of my course. And now they're trying to do that to me now, and it's all thanks to the students. I messaged this Miss Mason woman. It's really creepy how her last name is Mason, because guess what was on my phone yesterday coming home on the train? Yesterday, when I was coming home from the train, I had the Masonic symbol on my phone, and I was showing it to the passengers on the train when they were basically harassing me. And the very next day, there was a lady, her last name is Mason, who messaged me trying to talk about my behavior, my student code of conduct. My behavior, which tends to be passive, shy, and somebody who is obviously being bullied and harassed. This is what you call corruption. I'm supposed to pay the price for their karmic retribution. This is evil energy exchanging. And we don't even have to go into a spiritual talk about this. This is evil energy harvesting. Like, this is just, we don't even need to be talking about this in a spiritual way. Whether you believe it in it or not, this is evil This is basically evil trying to say that it's not evil. These Freemasons, these people who run the community and explain that they're only helping people out, the ones who basically fund your corporations, the ones who manage every single state that you live in and are in every single state, they are the ones who are infiltrating every single career community that I enter into to make my life difficult and harder than it is supposed to be. My life was never like this. It was manufactured to be like this. Anything that people say about me that is so nasty and negative is it's always a lie. These people will never stop lying out of these mouths about me. They will never take my name out of their mouth. They love to get a reaction out of me. They love to see me cry. They love to see me get upset. The day before my birthday, they made me cry again. This is the 5th year in a row. Every single birthday, I've been somewhat cursed. Like I've always just had a really, really bad experience every single year because this is the time of month that they feel like I let my guard down the most. And they just like to ruin people's day, their birthday, or even if they're feeling happy during that month. This lady, her last name is Mason. She was like, it's extremely important that you attend this private meeting. Exactly the same way that Adele Stavely stated in her email. And her emails, they were mainly work related. It was about the quality of my garments, the quality of my work. It wasn't about who I was. It came to that. It came to that stage. And it was about my personality. It, so she was talking about my personality. She thought that I was a little bit mean, right? That's what Adele was my the one who basically set up my career pathway for Cert 3. I finished it halfway. I could not finish the whole thing because they were setting me up in every single way. And I talked about this in a couple of my videos. And has somebody right who keeps to myself. I keep my thoughts to myself and I go there for one thing, and that's to study. It's quite mean of you to think that I'm a mean person for wanting to study what I'm good at, what I'm passionate about. Because this is what you call a crime and a passion of hate. These people hate me. And the way that they are discriminating me based on how pretty I am. So they feel they need to humble me, they need to stop me, they need to put me down in every single way. They want me to keep my head down. And a lot of these gang stalkers, a lot of these people, these harassment people, these people who harass us, they put their head down and they put their head up, and they do that repeatedly. Like they're trying to show us they want us to keep our head down, which is a form of bullying and a form of hate and just and harassment. Why should we keep our head down? You are these scumbags who are the most ugliest people that you can ever imagine are trying to bully us, trying to put us in our place. They want us to have our head down So that this is the behavior that they're expecting of me. My head is held too high up. And when I was working in my little small job, what kept me going was having my head held up high. And it's honestly embarrassing having to live this way. It's embarrassing. I should be living a normal life. I shouldn't be having to live a life that is manufactured for potential setups. They see me doing well, and then they try to put an end to it. They try to, or they're trying to get a bad reaction so that it can lead towards that. They want me, if I complete my certificate, they want it to be in a way where they can bully me. They can put me in my place. They can make me feel uncomfortable. They want me to end my life. They want me to hate myself. I am being so hated on ever since I was in a college where there were a bunch of gangs. And I might just reveal my location. I might just reveal the country that I live in, because for you to understand what types of gangs these are, I'll be saying something that many people will be able to identify as where these gangs come from. Now, I live in a country where a lot of immigrants have come into. And it's not just these immigrants that are harassing me. It's people who are brainwashed and not right in the head who are doing this to me. I am just a normal girl. I was told that it was a recruitment process to be recruited by the Masons. I never said I wanted to be a Mason. I don't care if it's my birthright. I don't care if there are people who are Masons that are related to me. Why would I join a fraternity that is mainly meant for men? Of course, they accept women as well, and there are women fraternities, but why would I join that? Especially when they're known to eat babies, harvest babies, traffic kids under tunnels, kill kids, harass kids, do things to their kids. This is what they're known for. Why the fuck would I want to join them? If I am destined to be rich or famous in some way, of course the main thing they will do is harass and target me and expect me to sell a piece of my soul. But why the hell, if I have a talent and I can make money from my talent, why do I need to owe them? Why do I need to join them, these Masons, to have a piece of that life? And to be honest, I want a normal life that I can be well off, but it doesn't even need to be in a rich way. Because I just want a nice living. I don't care about being rich. Even if that is why they're gang stalking me, because they see me as somebody who can be. And that I am related to Masons, and it's my birthright, and they want me to be as evil as them. And this is why I don't want to associate with them, because they go into every single community that I go into, they smear my name, they lie about me, they lie about my character, they plot to sabotage me, they label me as somebody who's crazy, they follow me around everywhere, they do things that they know if I even have evidence of, it will be insufficient, because they are powerful in groups. They have all these resources and to do evil things where they can corrupt their position so that they can try to control my life, and I can't. I've tried to be as clear as I can explaining this, but honestly, I'm trying, and I'm pretty sure you guys have all understood exactly what I meant by what I am going through. Um, Gang stalking is a common thing that happens when you are part of the Freemasons or you are part of a fraternity, but you don't want to stay, you want to leave. So let's say you leave. You're not necessarily allowed to leave. They might say you can leave if you want, but there'll be dire consequences. Or this will affect you and your family. They might say that. And then once you leave, they will harass you, they will gang stalk you, they will lie on you, on your name, they will smear your name to the community, they will label you as a threat. They will tell people that you're dangerous without any evidence. Dangerous of what? Dangerous, well, because you know their secrets, you know something about them. Or you're somebody who is innocent like me, and you've never been a part of a fraternity or any Freemasons. You're related to them, you're related to people who are part of it, some that are still alive and well, but you are not going to follow in their ways. You are not going to be a friend to people who are narcissistic and evil. You are going to live your life in a way that is Christ-like, in a way that honors God, in a way that is so good. If you are somebody who is innocent, just exactly as I explained just now, they don't want that. And it's even worse that I'm related to them. Because, I'm not just gang stalked, I'm related to them, so they can track me. No, they have my blood. I'm blood related to them. People who I'm related to. The only Freemason in my family that has died is my grandfather. He died from a stroke, but unfortunately, I have many family members and they're all a part of that fraternity. And because I am not joining them in any way, and there's no need to, because they're so evil and they're so out of fashion, they feel the need to do this to me. They're so evil. Like if I'm, what I'm studying, right, is it's you would find a lot of people who are into that sort of thing who are studying that course. But if they know that you're targeted, they will instantly participate in that because obviously they get paid to gang stalk you. Paid or not, you are labeled as a threat to them. So I am a threat to these people because I ignore them, I ignore their tactics, I ignore their tactics to try to recruit me. And honestly, it was a bit hard to understand if they were really recruiting me because it was harassment, it's really ugly people, annoying people doing this to me, trying to get my reaction, setting me up is really evil, trying to as well. But I guess part of their recruitment process would be being friendly to you for a few days to test you, asking you a few questions, seeing if you'll get on the same bandwagon as them, But if you don't really feel like you're in that same bandwagon as them, then I guess that's your way of declining it. But I never really feel like I experienced that. I didn't get an invitation in a red envelope to say welcome. We want to invite you to be a Freemason. I did not get that. Okay, so somebody told me it was a way of recruiting me, one of their ways, and that they're trying to recruit me. But there's no way that they've been trying to recruit me and then gang stalk me for so long. But if the Freemasons tried to recruit me for a love offer, I would not accept that because I do not like somebody having power over me in that way. Like, if you wanted me to be a powerful fraternity member, why would you give me a love offer? If I'm going to be a powerful person, you let me be a powerful person without somebody trying to invite me to be with them. You invite me full on, but that's not what I want. That's not my purpose. That's not who I am. I am somebody who believes in God. I fear God. I'm not like these people. These people are evil. They worship, you know what? I don't need to say it. There's a fraternity in every single suburb of where I live, even where I used to live. The fraternity that was close to my college, my high school, it burned down. It went into flames. So I so just before I transitioned to online studying to finish my high school degree, the fraternity near my high school burnt into flames. How can that happen, right? I remember reading the comment under that video that, good for these evil scumbags that their building went into flames. But this is their way of destroying evidence of ever doing anything illegal. But the thing is, these brothers, these people who are part of the fraternities, they are everywhere. They're in your court of law. They even have courts. They have justice systems. They have justice courts that are basically run by Freemasons. You go to the UK, they have a Masonic hall that is used for court hearings. So if somebody does a crime, you go to the court in the UK, you see that the name of the court is the Freemason court. You're fucked because these people protect each other. So the arms of coat. If a brother does you harm, you do that brother no harm. You protect your brothers. This is their code. It's a boys' club. It's a boys' club. But what is so disgusting is that there are women who are so self-centered that they would support these boys in basically doing bad shit to harass us. And not just us, us women, us girls. It happens to thousands of guys as well, getting harassed, stalked, followed, set up in our career, in our studies, in our jobs, to just ruin our lives. They want us to take our own lives as well. They want, sometimes they would feel the need to poison us in a quick move, but they will not go as far as possibly wanting to kill you just yet. A lot of the victims who are gang stalked, it's murder to hire. It's a plot to murder you. But us who are basically basically still alive. So we haven't been poisoned yet. We haven't been murdered yet. Why haven't we been murdered yet? So that means the Freemasons are potentially gang stalking us because they want to recruit us. And you might be wondering, why would they want to harm us, not kill us, to recruit us? Because majority of the gang stalking victims who have been gang stalked have been murdered. So revenge for hire. But what if I tell you that in order to become a Mason, in order to become a Freemason, you have to go through really bad things. So it's the same process as becoming a celebrity. It's the same process as becoming filthy rich. You have to go through the worst of the worst. You have to be trampled on. You have to be harassed. You have to be bullied. You have to be abused in a really bad way, whether it's violent or something even worse than that. You have to go through something called street theater, humiliation rituals, and if you survive that, they will try to recruit you. Yes, they will try to recruit you. Although if they see that you're still avoiding that, they will make it worse. They because it's like it's like taking a blood oath. You have to go through their their setups, their manufactured bullshit, right? And we know we never signed up for this. We never signed up for this. But they're trying to get our attention in some way, obviously. They're trying to lead us to the dark side, which is something that we will never do. We're not going to join these people. I'm not a whistleblower. I don't feel the need to talk about their disgusting, evil things, even though it should be told, of course. I'm just a normal girl who's living my life, doing what I'm talented at. I never spoke ill of anyone unless it's something that I've witnessed or heard. Or it was like targeted towards me. And you guys know that. But punishing you is a part of the recruitment process as well. And if you are somebody who lives a godless life, if you don't have God in your life, it will be much easier for you to go down the rabbit hole with them and follow them where they basically were leading you to that dark alleyway. Never go to that dark alleyway. Never. Never go into a fraternity. Never become a Freemason. You will regret it. Or if you don't regret it, if it's something that aligns with your soul, do whatever you want. I don't care. I never chose this. I don't want to be a part of them. But they are trying to set me up in my career. They are doing noise campaigns to harass me. They have all my details. That it's the same thing. I have no privacy. They see me They see me all the time. They watch me get changed. It's all a form of blackmail. And they will not show you how they're watching you. They will show it in a way where only you would know that they're basically watching you. So they will do a little funny move. I said this in my last video. Like, let's say you just stepped out of your bathroom, your shower. You're putting your clothes on. You're doing something with your hair, or you're touching a sore on your stomach. They will copy that movement to show that they were watching you while you were in your bathroom naked. So it's one of three things. It's a plot to ruin your reputation, set you up in your career, harm you, They haven't murdered me. They haven't tried to murder me. But it's a way to set me up in my career. They have been doing that, set me up financially, try to stop me from getting certificates to get a job that's going to financially support me one day, ruin my reputation so that I don't have the support that I need. I can go to somebody for help. I can talk to somebody about this. I can't have any of that. Um, that there's that as well, and then there's also um the recruitment process. But the thing is, I never signed up. I never said I wanted to be a Freemason. I never said that. If if the people who I am related to are Freemasons, that is their choice. That is not my choice. Do you see the type of shit that I'm in? Do you see how fucked up this is? Um who would have thought that they just would never leave you alone. So it's just disgusting. I go outside my house. I have a few people there that are coming out at the exact same time that I come out of my house. So you know that scene in again, I know I'm mentioning this movie again, but it's the only movie that can really show you the reality of gang stalking. So Tom Cruise gets invited to a party, and it's not a regular party. The guy starts playing a song backwards. People start acting weird. You see lots of people wearing weird costumes. They're all doing weird things with each other. I never witnessed that, but it is the type of stuff that they do in closed doors. They do that in closed doors. So, but he's walking down. But has he witnessed something? Has Tom Hanks witnessed the death of the girl who basically atoned for him, sacrificed herself for him because he witnessed something that he shouldn't have. He saw something that he shouldn't have. He starts getting what you call his gang stalked. And the person who gang stalked him is somebody that he knows, somebody that is close to. So the one who put the target on his back, it's the one that he's close to. And Tom Hanks in this movie, he's a doctor. He's a heart surgeon, I'm pretty sure. He gets followed by these people who are wearing dark clothing. And again, they don't need to be wearing suits and a hat. In my case, it's gangsters. They wear red shoes. And I will tell you how many people with red shoes were in fact gang stalking me. So many people who are gang stalking me, they wear red shoes. They wear black hoodies and red shoes. And these gangs that are stalking me, they're a gang called Eshays. Yep, you heard me. Eshays. Try to guess which country I'm from because I'm pretty sure you've already guessed which country I'm from. And these Eshays, you always seeing them getting out of jail so quick. Um, their bail periods don't last long. They're always caught up in crime, but always somehow getting let off free from it. These are the types of people that basically put me in this shit. Well, made me more. Oh, I don't know who are the main people who agreed for this harassment to happen because I know that I was being watched beforehand. There are so many mysteries to this, but and the fact that I am related to Freemasons, that is the most That is the most puzzle piecing part. Because if I was targeted by these gangs, these eshays, what do they have to do with the people who are related to me, who were in Freemason lodges? And one of them has died, but there's a few that are still alive that are related to me. And of course they know about me. And it's just it's fucked up. It's fucked up, and it's a sad reality that I'm living in. And let's say I try to walk in there. What am I to expect? They can try to set me up for even walking into their building and trying to ask what they're doing. If I fly back to the state where it originally happened to me, and the thing is, it doesn't stop when you move countries or states. It continues. It never stops. Like it's still happening. What they will do is they will laugh in your face if you even go to the place where you'll try to confront them for it, and you know they'll just do bad things to you. I don't know what will happen if you confront them, but they put me through hell. They've set me up in prison. They set me up in a psych ward. They try to say that I was crazy. They fucked with my life. They played with my life. But for once, for once, I haven't been murdered. I haven't been set up for my food. They haven't done that to me yet. They've done it twice, but it's not something they've continued doing that. And you're probably asking, oh, what did you go to prison for? Well, I went to prison, and it was for reacting to the Freemasons. You heard me right. I had a father, and he was a really bad guy. He knew about what was happening to me. He didn't give a shit. He kept going, and he kept provoking me. And when he assaulted me, he never went to prison. I did. I had to pay the price for what he did to me. And he kept provoking me, telling me little things here and there to fuck with my head, like it's all in my head, right? And this is what they do, right? This is what they do with their victims. This is what they do to innocent people. They play with you. They tell you things here and there. They try to get a reaction from you, and it's all to set you up in some way. And while I was walking to get some food in the CBD, there was undercover police that were arresting thugs, right? Thugs, the same type of thugs that were harassing me. And they looked pretty peaceful, but they were wearing black uniform. And the minute that I saw them and I was walking back to my class was the minute that I got that email from a lady called Mason. Her last name is Mason. And it's really disturbing. It's something that you would shake from, because, her last name is Mason. I'm targeted by Freemasons. I had the Freemason logo on my phone yesterday, showing a bunch of people on the train while they were harassing me, and me showing them the Freemason logo is what makes them scared, because they are being told by these people to do this to me. What do I have to do? My quality of life? Do you see how I'm living? Do you see how they're trying to make me live? They're trying to make me live in a fight or flight state of mind every single day. The weird thing is that they haven't poisoned me enough. They haven't put me in a car crash. They haven't tried to kill me. They want to set me up as somebody who's aggressive or mental or crazy, but they will never try to kill me. They will never try to murder me. That's a bit offensive, to be honest. I'm a bit offended by that. That's easier than having to deal with all that crap. Because to be living through this is like hell. This is not a way to live. I'm dealing with the most evilest of evil scum that you can ever imagine. My whole family is gaslighting me to the point where they're treating me like a complete and utter joke. They know what's happening, but they will never say a word about it. My mother, she never said she was part of a fraternity. She said that she was a part of a little cult in a Catholic school, but I didn't necessarily take that as serious because she said it in front of somebody who I used to be in a relationship with. And that person who was in a relationship with me was sent by them to get information from me, see where I'm at in life, and then to basically stagnate my career and become a a uh, a a forced distraction to spread these false narratives about me. Even though, he was really truthful about his behavior, not about how he was, but about his behavior in person, behind the scenes, this person, and still to this day, is harassing me with these Freemasons. Be careful, right? You try to make a life for yourself, even while being gang stalked. The people that you will try to be in a relationship with, or even has somebody who's close to you, they will, in an instant, if they want to, if they really were somebody who you can trust, you know, which they probably are not, and they are reporting to people who are in a community who follow these uh Freemason things, will set you up, will smear your name, will ruin your reputation. So guys, I haven't had an easy life. I may have looked like somebody who hasn't been set up, but I can tell you from the bottom of my heart that I have in fact fell into many of these traps to be this experienced. So I know what I'm dealing with. I know what I am being prepared for every time that I get out of my house, every time that I go anywhere. I am being prepared to either get set up, harassed, stalked, or possibly aggravated. So I always have to be prepared. So, a word of advice: if you are being gang stalked for the first time, you will need to prepare to not get a, a reaction, to not react to their reaction that they are doing to you. So first they will do things with the bins. They will do things with the bins to harass you. What do you need to do? So before they do something with the bins, you do something with the bins before they can do something with the bins. In a way where you are basically just, getting rid of something. They can't treat you like trash if you're already putting something in the trash. Tip number 2. Never, and I say never, believe anything that your family members say to you. Your family members are in on it, whether they like it or not. They may not want to do this to you. Some of them may even still love you, but they have to. You are a target. You are somebody who is a threat. And who knows, the people that you're related to are so double-sided you don't recognize them. You've been through so much setups. You've been through so much shit. You can't say you can't tell if they're people who wanted to participate in this or not. And I don't want to see the side of that, whether they wanted to do this to me or not, because I am their daughter. They should never have wanted to allow what these people have done to me, but they still participated in setting me up in some way. You know what my mother said to me? You know what she said to me? She said to me, go back to the hospital. When I told her about being targeted by Freemasons again. So I am basically hated on by everyone, including my family. So I am really at my lowest right now. I can't talk about what I'm going through because they want to label me as somebody who is crazy when I'm telling the truth. And they know I'm telling the truth. Everywhere I go, there's somebody trying to get a reaction out of me. It's called harassment and gang stalking, and they know what it is. They know that. Most victims of gang stalking, they get called paranoid, mental, or all kinds of names. But Freemasons exist. The Freemasons are in the Epstein files. They've done things to little kids. They rape babies. You're going to call me crazy? You're going to call me mental? You're going to say that I'm a danger to society when I'm being targeted by a group called the Freemasons? And these Freemasons, they're not the Freemasons like in America. They're the Freemasons in Australia. Now I've revealed my location, that I'm living in Australia and I'm being targeted by Freemasons in Australia. And these Freemasons in Australia, they're in every single state. There was one where I was living and it burnt into flames. And that Freemason lodge that burned into flames was only a 2-minute drive to my school in my college. These people have ruined half of my life. So if you wonder why I know so much about gang stalking, how I'm so experienced in this, that I'm basically a teacher for this, it's because I have experience in being set up, in being targeted, in being drugged, and in basically going through hell. I may not look like somebody who's gone through much, but I have. I've gone through really bad things. But I haven't been killed because they want to label me as somebody who's mental or somebody who's a danger to society. I'm not scared to say this. This is the absolute truth. There's no hiding anymore. I am not going to become a Mason. I am not going to become a Freemason. I don't care if I'm related to Freemasons. I am an innocent girl who's trying to live my life. Whatever I do, whatever I've seen, whatever I've heard, they know that I'm not somebody who's going to whistleblow on that. But they still decided to put a target on me. My whole family treated me like trash, like scum, like somebody who's worthless. Everybody have treated me like somebody that I was worthless. This is what happens to good people. People who do the right thing. You know, I give money to people. I'm generous to people. What do I get back? I get punished. I get set up. I have to avoid these things. And how do I avoid them? Of course, I can still be a good person, but I expose them. Even if I expose them, some of them can keep going. So what do I do? Well, I can listen to music, I can wear my headphones, but this is not a reality that we can always be in. Music is fine. Music is okay. But they've ruined my life. They did this to me so that in the future, if I were to have any credibility, I would not have credibility. If I were to do something in the future where I would be in a high position for it, I will not have the credibility to do that. This is the point of the setups. The setups are in a way so that if you were to be in a high position one day, it will be really hard for you to get to that position because they will say, oh, well, she's been to prison, she's been to a psych ward, that girl is crazy, that girl's a threat, lock her up, put her in a psych ward. They want to destroy me, they want to hurt me because I am an innocent girl who witnessed something, who heard something, and the community does not like me. And the community that did not like me, these Freemasons that go around talking shit about innocent people, they follow me from community to community to tell them to do things towards me, to intimidate me, to make me feel scared that I have to put my head down. I have to put my earphones in every single freaking day. You know, they drugged me so many times. They encouraged me to go on drugs to manage my emotions. You know what that did to me? That made me unwell. That messed with my understanding of what was happening to me even more. It made it harder for me to go through their setups easier because the same drugs that they are prescribing to you to manage their setups, to manage their attacks, are the same ones to make you go crazy. There's no way out of this. The only way to survive these scumbags, these Masonic pieces of shit, is to avoid them, and you have to keep avoiding them. But the thing is, it's not forever. It's not forever. It's more than a revenge for hire. It's not like somebody paid money to get revenge on me. It's worse than that. I have these pieces of shit scum that are infiltrating every single community by word of mouth, telling people to do things towards me behind closed doors. The main label for the gang stalking tactic they used on me is called PATM. People allergic to me. It's a real thing called PATM. PATM. It's something that usually happens in Asia or China. Asia, China, or Germany. Those are the main states where this gang stalking tactic was tested on individuals. Well, it's the highest form of harassment in these countries. But elsewhere, like in the West or in Australia, it's harder to explain this. It's even harder to find somebody who is going through something called PATM, which is one of the main forms of gang stalking, and it can be one of the rarest. But it's not a rare form of gang stalking. There are specific groups in China and Asia where they are going through something called PATM, just like what I'm going through. People allergic to me. And they will do this consistently in a synchronized way where it will be to get on your nerves and to irritate you. And it will only be at you. They will not do it to anyone else. This is why it's targeted. And the same thing goes with how they watch you so closely, you cannot even maintain a relaxed expression. It irritates them. They don't want to see you calm or relaxed. They want to see you on edge. They want you to be at the edge of your seat, watching them back. They crave that attention from you so much. They never leave us alone. They never leave me alone. No matter what I do. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to show up at one of the Freemason lodges and ask them, well, what should I do? What do you think they're going to do to me, guys? What do you think they're going to say to me? Don't you think they're going to just try to destroy me on the spot? They know I'm not going to want to be a part of their lodge no matter what. Even if I don't want to be a part of their lodge no matter what, I don't want anything to do with them. They've hurt me. They've abused me through these gang stalking campaigns so much. They've hurt my career. They've hurt my reputation. They've destroyed any type of relationship I can form with people. They don't want me to have more than a couple people in my life. They don't want me to have any form of support in my life whatsoever. And this is what's going to help them with their gang stalking campaign. Any person that was studying the same course as me, who knew that the people in that class were fucked up, have left. There were two girls who were studying the same course as me. One of them, she went to university. She was smarter than every single girl in that class. She was still gang stalking me, but she left the course. There was another girl. She was the nicest one in the room. She was a bit chubby. I haven't seen her for a long time, and I'm pretty sure she's left. But she would sit next to me for most of the for almost every single class. She was a bit chubby, obviously. She had alternative hair. She was a bit shy, but you know, she talked about. She didn't mention the term gang stalking, but she referenced it quite a bit in the first few classes, and then she mentioned Reddit, which is where I posted my first gang stalking video, and you know, they knew that I would possibly want to get to know her more throughout the year, and they kind of got into her head a little bit. But regardless on whatever thought she had of me or of anyone else, she left the course. She left the course as well. So now the only remaining people in that course are the people there who are there for the course and also, you know, to continue being assholes. You know, it's strange how so many people would believe these fraternities, these lies about what they're saying about me, when they're known and they're being exposed till this very day for what they have been doing to people, especially small children and babies. Every single Freemason has been involved in a crime. And all their brothers, because that's what it is, it's a fraternity, they protect each other. They protect each other of their crimes. So none of them really get punished for their crimes. If they get punished for their crimes, it's in their fraternity Masonic hall or their Masonic court. Because, for example, in the UK is a cousin to Australia. But in the UK, they have something called a Masonic court. That isn't that messed up? They have a Masonic court. If if you get set up, you would not want to be there because they're brothers in arms. They're brothers. You know, Australia is under the cousin of these countries. You know, you would think, why are so many people wanting to do this evil to me? Aren't they good people themselves? Do you think they care? Even if they know the truth, they don't want to get gang stalked as badly as we're getting gang stalked. They don't want to go through what we're going through. And I remember witnessing one of them saying that to their friend. Do you want to end up like her? Then do that to her. Because I remember that's what they were saying. Do you want to end up like her? Then do it to her. So they're basically blackmailing each other if they don't feel comfortable to do this to me, to do that to me. So I have people who are volunteering to harass me, and then people who are paid to harass me, people who are being forced to harass me as well. And one of the things they do is they have a point system. They do have something called a point system where they gain points. Maybe they have that or not, but it's a bit of an assumption that I have for that one. But what they do have, they do trade in. A common one is gift cards. So has payment for the type of gang stalking you're going through, it's through gift cards to another person, not to you. And we had to stay quiet about gang stalking for so long because anybody that we talk to about this, they will laugh in our face. They don't want to lose their job. They don't want to get fired. Well, oh, so the big guys are after you? Well, I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to get involved. This is basically, they won't say it like that, but they'll give you that type of wordplay. You know, when you are basically going through corruption, how do we fight corruption with the law that is already corrupted? How are we supposed to go through that? The law is corrupted. We have Freemasons who are telling the police to harass innocent people and set them up in their life so that bad things can happen in their life. So that getting to a certain point in their life, it will be almost impossible, difficult, or just extremely unbearable, or just, a humiliation. They want me to keep my head down all the time. I only have my head down if I'm studying, if I'm looking at my phone, but it's their way of like trying to treat me like as if I'm a pushover. An intelligent, smart, attractive girl, this is what they're doing to me. This is what they're doing to me. It's really messed up. Any negative thing somebody says towards me, they love to say that straight back to my face. It gives them like a satisfaction. This is their way, and this is their way of trying to set me up. The one person in my life, and a lot of people who are being gang stalked, even for attempted murder, their fathers have done really bad things to them and have gotten involved in this in a really bad way. If you also experience that, why the hell would you want anything to do with such a dangerous piece of shit? Like, no. it's honestly insane how once I start investigating even deeper, your assumptions about being related to Freemasons come out to be 100% true, and many of them to be precise. Because it's just insane how amazingly it adds up. Nobody wanted to tell me that until I'd been through the worst types of hell that you can imagine. And yeah, I've been treated pretty badly by people who were supposed to protect me. Nobody protected me. Nobody. I have parents for what? Why do I have parents when they haven't protected me at all? I don't even have parents. You know what I have? I have people who are called handlers. They handle me. If you know the term gang stalking, you have something called handlers. They're just people who watch over me, provide over me, but they never will protect me when it comes to my reputation, getting set up, dealing with people who are trying to interfere with my career or certificate. And one of these people who I'm related to is extremely dangerous, right? He's a piece of shit. He's extremely aggressive, and he likes to play with your mind, you know? He wants to get involved in anything that you do, and he doesn't want you to be around anyone. And you would think, why would my mother want to marry someone like that? It doesn't make sense, does it? It doesn't. It doesn't make sense. The only weird thing is that his last name is in the certificate. His father was a cop, and my mom's grandfather was a Freemason, and so is everybody down that ancestral line. You heard me right. So, whatever anybody is going to try to call me, I'll be wearing that Masonic logo on my back sooner or later. Whatever you're going to do, their fraternity logo is going to be on my t-shirt. It might mean nothing, right? I might just seem like some little girl wearing a t-shirt, but it's going to be a representation of me being part of their humiliation rituals. Because it's a humiliation. It's a humiliation. They do rituals. Freemasons are known to do rituals. So whether you believe in spirituality or not, Masonic people are known to do rituals. And you know what my deadbeat piece of shit father said, right? He was like, oh, but how can I be involved? I'm not rich. I'm not in high place. But there's a Masonic lodge down the road. Are they rich? No, you just have to be a member. You don't have to be getting money from them. But you can still be a brother. You can still help in setting up somebody that's close to you. And that's exactly what my asshole piece of shit father did to me. And so have many others. He's turned my grandma against me for a very long time too. Whenever my grandma would come home to our house, he would have little conversations with her. He would be like, oh, Gislaine, blah, blah, blah. He would talk about me. He would say things behind my back on how to get my grandma to treat me like shit. Like I'm a piece of shit. And, he knew how that would affect me. And when I was treating him the same way that he was treating me where I used to live, he said to me, "You know, I'm going to make your family turn on you." That's what my father said to me. That's what that scumbag said to me. I wouldn't even say that guy has a bit of blood that is related to me at all. Because I look 100% like my mother. And I can thank genetics for that. Because if I look like my mother's partner, I would definitely be the one to take myself out. But I don't. Anyways, apart from the comebacks I'm having towards these people, these scumbags, um, the whole point of me saying all this is because, yes, it's happening again. I'm going through many, many shit, stupid campaigns where they're trying to set me up. And I can always predict when something bad is going to happen, but I don't always have enough time to do that, and they know that. So if you have the opportunity to stay away from dangerous criminals in your family, you should. A Freemason is the most dangerous person you can ever have in your life, especially one that obeys them and listens to them. There is a Freemason lodge in every single state in Australia. So where I live, there is a Freemason lodge. The next suburb that I'm going to travel to, there's going to be a Freemason lodge, and the very next suburb is going to be a Freemason lodge. There's a Freemason lodge in every suburb. Do you think they are rich people? They are your everyday people. There are evil people in every single wealth and class. And they can be very much related to you. And they will turn on you in an instant. Because when it comes to their brothers, when it comes to what they believe in, they will stop at nothing to destroy you. Now, I don't know exactly if my grandfather was murdered or if he had a stroke, because it can mean many things. He probably was poisoned. But my mother told me she doesn't want to talk about it anymore, by the way. She doesn't. She doesn't want to talk about it anymore. He was experiencing many types of witchcraft. He was talking about people that were coming after him. And my grandfather, he was very, very involved with the with the Freemasons, the fraternity. There's one in every suburb. They're normalized. They're seen as good people, knowing that they basically harass innocent people. They are able to stay undercover all the time and brainwash the community to do this to us. And they will even brainwash themselves to do it to us because they want to believe that we're a bad person, even though we're not. You know what these scumbags have done to so many children in the world? There are thousands of kids who have been molested and raped by these assholes. A lot of people who have been gang stalked have experienced sexual assault or rape. A lot of people who get gang stalked have experienced electronic rape. What do you think that means? What, guys, what do you think that means, huh? So we will never know the whole truth to this. We will never know if we were possibly taken somewhere. We will never know. What we will know is that we remember what we remember. And that we're being blackmailed, harassed, intimidated, and set up for a reason. For me, the reason is not well known. I was not it started when I was 13 years old. They start gang stalking. They usually start the gang stalking thing when you're much older. That's what they say, but it's not true. Many victims have claimed that they were targeted from that age as well, or even younger, which is honestly evil. But it's a common practice. It's a common thing that happens in most cases of being related or having an interference with a Freemason. And even if you don't remember being around, witnessing, knowing anything about a Freemason, you're still targeted. It's messed up, isn't it? And just think about how many kids they've brought under tunnels to their expensive mansions and their little middle, yes, it's not just rich elites, it's middle class Freemasons as well. You guys know this. Again, I'm repeating this again. It's in every single lodge. Every single suburb has a lodge. And who are the people that are in these lodges? Everyday looking people who happen to be fathers. It's a boys' club. And it's also a girls' club as well. And they started with my education. They are trying to ruin any type of success I have in my education. Today I got a text message because I was doing another course before this, that I finally received my certificate for my previous course that I was studying. It was fairly easy, but it was still an achievement. And on that very same day, I got my congratulations. This is what happened to me today. And in that text message, it says, hopefully that helps you in the course that you're studying. And it mentioned the course that I was studying. And the course that I'm studying, right, is the one that they're trying to that I love, that I'm good at, is the one that they're trying to set me up in. Okay, so I feel like I've said enough, but soon I'll be doing live videos of basically being gang stalked on live. So you guys will be able to see me being harassed on live. Yeah. So be prepared for that one. Always have a phone and a camera with you everywhere you go. And you don't be so obvious about it. But for some reason, again, unless someone is doing something to me, then I would catch them on camera. But it's not always necessary. But there's a girl in my class who took a picture of me on Snapchat. She's a very ugly looking girl, and she was chosen to be a mannequin for the clothes that we made. And again, she's pretty ugly looking, and it's pretty laughable about the fact that she got chosen for it. Well, she wasn't. She basically asked to be one. She begged to be one, and I couldn't care less. And the same girl took my picture on Snapchat, and she sent it to God knows who. It's like, again, and I made a post about it. If you want to take my picture, just ask for my autograph instead. It's ridiculous. Just ask for my autograph instead. But it's it's not as easy as it sounds. Every single person out there is is following their manual on how to treat me. They want to control my life. They don't want me to live a life of my own. But even if you are not getting set up for your food, okay, so we're going to talk about food now. Even if you're not getting set up for food, you should still be careful of not going to any um, sketchy places where they sell food because they would do something with it, even if it doesn't kill you. Because they don't want to kill you right now. It's a step by step process. First, they need to smear your name. They need to ruin your name. Then they will send a few people in your life who will act like, and I don't mean the ones that I'm with right now. I mean like the past people that were in my life. They will get to know you. They will get all the information from you. Once they got that information, they'll try to set you up and then they'll leave. Sometimes they'll come back in your life, and it will not be of your hand. It will not be by invite. They will come back into your life by enrolling in the same course as you, so that they can ruin your life. And that's what happened. Ruin your course experience as well. And that's what happened in my last, again, my setup in terms of my cert 3. Part of the setup in when it part of this setup campaign that happened in me not being able to finish my cert 3. It was very sad, you know. What I'm studying is my passion. It's what I'm good at. And now that I'm focused on it and I'm in a state of survival mode, they're trying to put me down for that. They will try to make a problem. And in the email, it was like, no problem, sent from Miss Mason. Um, when they aren't trying to make it important, if it is mandatory, she would not put not a problem. So it has something to do with me counteracting their abuse, their setups. Because I'm not reacting to their setups. I'm avoiding their setups. I'm putting my music on to avoid their bullshit, their setups. And they're upset about it, and they're trying to make a problem out of that. They're going really hard at me, and they're not letting me go. And again, if you're somebody who's hardworking, if you're somebody who doesn't contribute to society, don't get worried about encountering people who will try to set you up to be arrested or anything. Be worried about the people who will try to destroy your career, because there are perpetrators, and I was expecting there to be perpetrators. What I did not expect was for them to honestly be as petty, has tried to lie to me to set me up in some way. Work together midway through the course to try to make me uncomfortable because I don't want to be their little victim. The more you ignore these people, the more they try to set you up. Again, even if you're ignoring them, you have the ability to avoid them, and you have your evidence, and you still try to get that certificate. That's all you can do, or just get through your job if you have a job. But it's really messed up. Like it's on their end, and if you have the people in charge who are participating in it in some way, disturbing and fucked up. They shouldn't do that. So instead of teaching, they're stopping between their teaching to engage in petty conversations amongst the students on how to make you uncomfortable and upset you. That shouldn't be the role of a teacher in any way. At least they're not. Well, if it was Adele Stevely and I was studying Cert 4 in that previous state, I mean in that previous town, I honestly don't know if I would have come that far. But I managed to come far in this new location. And it does have something to do with the types of people that are teaching you the subject. She tried to say that maybe what I'm studying isn't for me. She tried to say that to me, not knowing what I have created with my own hands. These people are really hateful and disgusting. Um, but what it has something to do with the type of person that you're taught by, and how they treat you as well. If you're getting bullied and also bullied to get set up, the question is, how do you keep putting up with it when they are relentless? And there are teachers who are participating in that. So they think they're hot shit too. There should be a strategy to avoid that, but we don't. So the advice I'll give you again is just, pretend that they don't exist and just do what you have to do. They run past you, you run past them like there's some disease. And I guess you would have to keep listening to your music and live in your own world that they hate about you. They don't like the fact that you live in your own world. We all do though. We all just living our lives, and they don't want me to live my life. They want to set me up and give me a hard time. And these essays that did this to me, a lot of them they wore red shoes. I as I was studying there, even so, this month is May. May, I've been getting a lot of setups, attempted setups, as of recently. And during this month of May, I've seen many essays, as of recently, many gangs working around my school. And these are these people that you go to school with, they work with them. They're close together with them. They're the ones that are telling them to keep going. You see them walking around, the street that you're walking to school, walking out of your school, your college, and they're walking and they're acting so suspiciously. They're walking around you. They're acting weird. They're trying to, be aggressive with the trash. People that you would see in really low places. What are they doing in the city? They're following you. They're getting people to. They're the ones who are encouraging them to basically manufacture more setups, especially in the month of May. When I see these guys, and it's not just guys as well, it's girls. Anybody wearing hoodies, red shoes, I know that there's going to be a setup or an attempted setup. When I went to the library and I sat down to charge my phone to 7%, there was a guy sitting in front of me with red shoes. And he had a red hat on, and a red jumper on. So really, really red. I think he had a red jumper on. What whatever color hat he had, but he had red shoes. The minute that he got up from his seat, I got it. That's when I got the email from Miss Mason. I can't be bothered to look at the email from the first name because honestly, this will end the video. But I will end the video soon. But letting you know that the person who was sitting in front of me was wearing red shoes, and at that exact same moment that he got up from the cushion while he was looking at me when I was charging my phone on the seat was when I got that email from Miss Mason. Miss Mason, which in fact gave me a heart attack. Because I have assessments that are overdue that I need to finish. I'm almost there. And I have more certificates after this to complete. And they're trying to keep going with me. This is fucked. You know, it's not right. It's fucked up, but you know, this is the way the world is. There's no justice system. There's no justice. The law is corrupt. If you so how can you fight corruption when the law's corrupt? When you are being targeted, you can't. People think they're gonna get justice for what Epstein did to them. You like I'm sorry, that's so sad, but you know, gang stalking is mentioned in the Epstein files. Like, do you think they're going to, if you say you've been assaulted violently or even raped, people laugh at you, people mock you, people treat you like you're shit. You know why? Because these people, they're Masons. They do rituals, they sacrifice, they do things to kids, they make boys gay, they make people trans, which is honestly disgusting. But this is what they do. This is what they do to people. And what they do to people, this same organization, because they can say that they're not rich, but it's still part of the same organization, and they are still doing things to people, innocent people like me. And you know what's more messed up? The people my age not having like they're robots, just going along with it. Even the boys just having a good time with it. You know, they're happy with their suffering. They're happy with the trauma that they're going through as well. If any of them have any trauma. I did say I was going to end this video, but yeah. Again, I'll repeat myself. I was sitting down. The minute that guy with the red shoes, the minute that he got up really slowly, right? His knees were crouched down, and then he got up. He looked at me straight in my eye. I didn't look at him. I was on my phone, but I knew, and I saw in the corner, but I didn't look at him in the pupil. He was looking at me straight in the eye. While he was doing that, that's when I got the email from Miss Mason, who was trying to force a setup with me to invite me into a private room to have a little discussion. Be aware of that. Even if when it comes to your studies or whatever, there'll be somebody, and it's disgusting how these people that you go to class with are so hateful and nasty. You don't talk to them, you ignore them, will come together as a group to lie to you, to some head teacher, to try to control you in some way and make you put your head down. That's bullying. You know, it's bullying. And the teacher's being involved in it in some way. But they don't care, you know? They don't care. They don't want to get targeted themselves. So they will participate in it. And I have an uncle, right? I have an uncle. He happens to see things. Not once,